All right, busy off season for the Wildcats Academy. I've got Keegan Crawford here, Wildcats assistant coach and Wildcats Academy director. What's been happening in the off season with the Academy boys?
Yeah, I've been really lucky to roll this program out in our off season. So have a lot of talented young kids from across the state and a bunch of different backgrounds. They come together. We practice a couple times a week. So we get them up nice and early before school, 6 a.m. start, two practices, a weight session. And then, we kind of put that together and play NBL 1 and Wobble Championship teams to give them an exposure to a higher level of basketball.
Yep, and it's been a big week with NAIDOC week. You guys are preparing for a huge one here at Bendat on Monday, right?
Mhm. So this whole event is a part of the NAIDOC Carnival run by Basketball WA and Binar Futures, who
Yeah.
do a fantastic job, and they're a great partner of ours. So Binar help us identify a lot of Indigenous talent, and we take a lot of those kids and put them in our program, and to kind of kickstart this whole week with the amount of crazy teams that they have that are in this tournament. We're going to be playing like an exhibition game after their opening ceremony here on Monday against the Binar team. So the ceremony starts at 9 and tip off for the game is at 11.
Beautiful. Come on down to Bendat and see these guys in action. And there's some characters in these teams,
Yeah.
right? We've been having a chat about a few of them. Actually, JR got me across one of them who is big on TikTok and has a bit of a cooking channel going on. And, it's more than just basketball, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Cooking with Briggsy, check him out.
Yeah,
That's
Briggsy.
you won't want to eat any of the food that he makes, but it's something to check out. But no, the kids they're such good kids.
Yeah.
Like, it's really been a pleasure this year to have them in the program, and they're all going to be playing for Binar Futures, with this Monday, which is really cool. Good opportunity to have multiple academy kids and young talent. So kids like Aaron Briggs, Marley Sam, who's doing a great job in the NBL 1, Lassie Edgar, who's been a huge part of national, Indigenous pathways.
Yeah.
And then some, other academy kids like James Wood, Dante as well.
Nice.
Who's been an academy graduate. So
Yep.
it's going to be really good to have them down. James Dalton's another one that we'll have around as well.
How do you find when they go up against each other? I mean, we've got obviously the Wildcats Academy playing those guys for opposition. Do you find they go a little bit harder against each other with a point to prove?
Yeah, there'll be a little bit of pride on the line. Like they
Yeah.
talk a bit of smack at practices in the morning, and I'm sure Marley's going to yell at me something during the game at some point. But that just kind of shows the competitiveness and the fire. And again, like that's a huge part of their development as well. Like wanting to win, wanting to compete. That's what we try and instill at 6 a.m. in the morning when they come here to Bendat.
Yeah, nice. And it's something you're passionate about, right? We've
Yeah.
had a few chats about the Wildcats Academy team and obviously being the director for a while now. So what is it that you love so much about being part of the Wildcats Academy?
Yeah, it's certainly like a highlight of my job. Like being a part of the Wildcats is a dream job, and the academy in the off season is a really engaging project that I get to lead and kind of get head coaching experience and reps in, which is great for my career. But how I started in basketball, full time was working, at a Wobble club and being a development officer at Basketball WA. So it really started in the youth kind of development pathway for me. So to kind of go back to where my roots are a little bit and get to do that with some of the kids and help expose them to some resources. And within the academy, we're really lucky to have the partnership of Rio Tinto, who supply, everything for these kids, to the training courts, to the uniforms, to the food, to the access to the weight room. So, the program is completely free for all of these kids because of the support that Rio give us. So to be able to kind of link a lot of my interests to this one pathway is a dream come true.
So they get a full sense of what it's like to be a professional,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And that's what it's about, trying to get them through to that next level. Hopefully we see them playing for us at the Perth Wildcats, which would be nice. But I imagine they have lofty dreams of playing in the NBA. And what do they come to you for advice-wise?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Like, we're in a position where, being part of the professional basketball team and kind of the pinnacle of basketball in our state, they all want to be around the program and they all, kind of look for us to advice, whether it's like basketball or non-basketball. Like we're there to help them, with life stuff and more importantly, help them grow into, responsible young men, which is a huge part of the program.
And for anyone that wants to be part of it, I mean, I feel like we've been promoting the Wildcats Academy a lot of late, which is great. It gets it out there and it builds that interest in it. And we do want kids to aspire to be a part of it. So what does that pathway look like?
Yeah, so it is a high performance program. So there is like a selection kind of process, but our coaches are kind of everywhere, and JR is a huge supporter of that, watching junior basketball, whether it's state, Wobble, a whole lot of different things. So, when our off season starts next year, we'll have kind of an invite process through clubs and a couple of our different partners where invites will get sent out for the trials for next year's program.
Beautiful. All right, something to aspire to for the kids, and a huge one for Monday. All the best. Get down here, 9:00 Bendat Centre. And who are you going to be? Obviously, your Wildcats Academy through and through, but who are you going to be sort of? How do you support the guys on the other team?
Like, they're dead to me. Wildcats Academy through and through. They're dead to me.
Good. Keegs, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.